All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Warakakwadash. Peace, blessings, and much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. Pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. The water which means thank you to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the world of Israel, and the world of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? People will take this scripture and make up lies all around it. They'll say things like, see, Satan was cast from heaven. He used to be in a choir. He was a beautiful angel, had a beautiful voice. And then one day he and a group of other angels rebelled against the Heavenly Father. And he was cast down to earth. And his job is to go around getting people to burn in hell forever and ever. That's a lie. Okay? This is referencing the so-called Illuminati, the holders of the light. When you go into that word Lucifer in Hebrews 19:66, the word is, it says Hallel. Lucifer equals light bearer, shining one, morning star. Lucifer, of the king of Babylon and Satan. And see, that's spiritual, because Lucifer in this case, talking about the so-called Illuminati, they are the kings over Babylon, starting with the Rothschild family, or the Red Child. Then when you look at the Statue of Liberty, everybody's heard about the Statue of Liberty here in America. The Statue of Liberty, which if you ask me is probably a tranny, but the Statue of Liberty is holding up a torch. What does that torch represent? Being enlightened. Okay? America pushes a false light, a corrupt light, through Lucifer, through these elite. Okay? And then when you go to Rome, Italy, you have what's known as the Vatican. You know, they have close ties to America. It's through them that America has that spirit of accept all, that one world order spirit. The Vatican, they'll have, you know, Christians, Muslims, atheists residing all through there. Okay, but when it comes to the Muslims, if you're not a Muslim, you can't go and worship the Mecca stone or whatever that stone is called. But the Vatican, they have the mentality of accept all. It don't matter. Come as you are. And that's the same spirit being presented over here in America. America has a false light being under Lucifer, the elite banking family, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds on down. Okay? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? So this prophecy has not happened. Right now, they are still in heaven a little bit longer. They're still in rulership. They're still in their time. But the sands of time is running out for them. O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And this is symbolically representing them being brought down from power. The nuclear missiles are going to bring a devastating destruction to America. Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So they want to be as the Most High. Now the paper dollar is going away as the days go on. Eventually they're trying to make it obsolete. They're trying to completely do away with it. But on the most common bill, being the dollar bill, they have the symbol being the all-seeing eye. which is an Egyptian symbol. But see, they want to be as the Most High. They want to see everything. Okay, that's why through your cell phone, through your computer, through your tablet, your iPad, you out in traffic, you walk into a grocery store, you're really under surveillance all the time because they want to be as God. Okay? Set up their satellites. Okay? I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Because it's their time. Seeing that it's their time, it's in their power to be evil. They do it all day long because it's in the power of their hands. Let's hold this in Isaiah chapter 14 and 14. And I'm going to jump to Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So these devils have the power to be wicked. And seeing that it's in their power to do so, they're very proud. They're taking advantage of every opportunity they can get to be evil. They be doing all sorts of abominable things. Okay? So going back to Isaiah chapter 14 and 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So in their mind, seeing that they have the power to be evil, they're trying to be like the Most High, but an evil Most High. They're trying to do away with him and just take his position completely. They're telling you the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son, all the angels, prophets, apostles, and so forth, everybody looks like them, which is a lie. And it's not a new lie. That lie has been around for quite a while now. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Now, this isn't referencing Lucifer, aka the Illuminati, being brought down to burn in hell forever. But they're going to be debased from their position. They're going to be put in a low position. Just as the Israelites are in a low position, they're going to be debased, brought under everybody. They're going to be the lowest of the low. They're going to lose that privileged seat that they've been in for quite a while. Okay? These days are coming very soon, but this is a future prophecy that has not happened yet. Seeing that we're in the season of World War III, World War III is going to be the end of this society. World War III is going to bring the end of these elite. Their whole system's going to fall. Okay? Yet, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Because Lucifer, they are a group of men who run the world, who are sitting in the power seat, as what some will say, the Illuminati. These secret societies that are at the top, these international banking families, okay, who give loans, who act as like a parent to some of these nations. Okay? And then even speaking on the Vatican again, the Vatican has had, high investments from the Rothschild family, being the elites of this world. And the Vatican has a lot to do with a whole bunch of lies that are being spread forth throughout America and the rest of the world. Okay? But the day is going to come where Esau and his system is going to be totally destroyed. And they're just men at the end of the day. Lucifer isn't some demonic looking angel that looks like a gargoyle. This Lucifer is speaking of physical men who are on earth, known as the Edomites. And out of the Edomites, starting with the head of Esau being Amalek. Within Amalek, you have a group known as the Rothschilds or the Red Childs. Esau came out red. When they have a great fall, like Humpty Dumpty, people are going to look at them and they're going to be like, dang, these are the people that have been, causing all this terror in the earth, who had everybody scared and shaken up. These are the people who were spreading war and propaganda. It's these old ass, decrepit looking guys, man. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? Okay? Israelites are filling up the penitentiary system. And every Israelite in there isn't in there because they deserve to be in there. There's a whole lot of unjust things happening within Babylon being under the rule of the wicked. So it's only right that Lucifer falls eventually. It's only right that Lucifer's light gets put out. Because being under these devils, they have been unfair. They have been unjust. Okay, look at what they did with the atomic bomb. That was back in 1940s. A whole lot of people got put to death through that atomic bomb. But see, the power has been given into the hand of these Edomites. These Edomites, these German scientists that were involved in that. How do you think they're able to come up with the things they come up with? First and foremost, you had a heavenly father, but you have elite investing in certain things. When you dig and do the research, you find out Lucifer, being the elite, starting with the Rothschilds, were behind pretty much everything that's been looked at as a conspiracy theory. Okay? So when they fall, it's going to be a beautiful day. All right? Because they've done nothing but, bring havoc and evil and corruption. You have people imprisoned, separated from their families for crimes they didn't commit. Separated from their families, locked up with murderers and other just low-level criminals because they're in there for a ticket or child support. This place is very unjust. It's very wicked. So when Lucifer falls, it's going to be beautiful. All right. Their light is going to be put out. Now let's go into the book of Job. Job chapter 18 and verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked, being Lucifer, shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. And with Lucifer having a great fall, right along comes America. Okay? America's going to have a fall. This place projects itself as righteous. The Statue of Liberty holds up that torch like it's illuminated in righteousness. But really that light represents wickedness. And that wickedness is going to be put out when them nuclear missiles come. When them nuclear missiles fall from heaven. The fall of Esau is coming very soon. All right? Let's go to the book of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. So there's going to come a time where the elite and their military are going to battle against Yahushua and the holy angels. There's going to be a war in the heavens. But these elite and their military, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to lose horribly. It's going to be their fall. Okay? And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Why? Because Lucifer is going to fall from heaven. They're going to fall from rulership. And you're literally going to see some of their aircraft falling from heaven as well, as they're being spanked. And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So Lucifer, the elite, and their minions, including their military, are going to fall. Their light is going to be put out. Okay? Fire is going to fall upon them. Now let's go to the book of Revelations, chapter 20. Revelations chapter 20 and verse 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake, starting with the elite of Esau, Edom. Okay? And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, which is going to be called by nuclear destruction, right along with them chariots adding to the destruction. and whatever other form of destruction is going to be brought forth through a missile or whatever the case may be. Where the beast and the false prophet are, the beast goes into America, which includes NATO and the EU. But NATO and the EU, they're not going to completely be destroyed. There's a prophecy that tells you in Revelation 17 how the beast is going to hate the whore and shoot fire upon her. So NATO and the EU is also going to turn against America and shoot fire upon her. But concerning America, America is going to be totally destroyed. And then parts of NATO and the EU are also going to be hit. All right? Where the beast being America and the false prophet are. Now you look at America, America has, like I spoke on earlier, has close ties with the Vatican. America also has close ties to NATO. NATO helps to stabilize America and its ties to Europe. Now the Vatican is located in Europe, and the Vatican, they push that spirit of come as you are. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be a homosexual. You can be a pedophile. You can be an atheist. You can be a Muslim. Okay, you can be a Muslim Christian at the same time. They're the ones presenting that filth all through America. Okay? And America and Europe have close ties. And NATO helps to be as a defense to both of them unto America and Europe. So seeing that America and Europe have close ties, all of America is going to be destroyed. America is going to be tormented because America has done a good job presenting lies, spreading false agendas, creating false narratives. Okay? And then I believe the number one religion in America is to be a Catholic. All right? Europe is where the Catholic Church is, which is located in Rome, Italy. And with NATO back in America and Europe, okay, eventually NATO is going to turn against America, right along with all these other countries that are in agreement with America. Okay? So all of America is going to be set on fire. And that includes the false prophet. You know, all the lies, the false religion, you know, all the deception that's been pushed here throughout Babylon. Okay? And the Vatican plays a huge role in that. And I personally believe some of the Vatican, not some of the Vatican, but I also believe the Vatican's going to be destroyed. Okay? Because the Vatican has done a huge number on spreading, you know, false information through what they deem as religion. Okay? And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire, being here in America, and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So when America gets touched, she's going to burn for a very, very long time. The beast and the false prophet are going to be destroyed. So all of America, America being that beast, spoken of in the book of Daniel. Let's go to that right quick. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 11. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. So the beast is rolled back as America today. Okay? NATO and EU are also a part of that. But all of NATO and EU aren't going to be destroyed. All of America is going to be destroyed, from New York all the way to California. Okay? I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain. So America's going to be slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. That burning flame going into the fire and brimstone. So Revelations 20 and 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire, being Lucifer, the elites of Esau Edom, the Rothschilds on down. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, being America and all of its lies and false narratives and agendas, false religions, okay? Heretics. And shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. You know, politics, all that stuff's going to be destroyed, okay? And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. So when Yahushua returns, people are going to be in fear. People are going to try to flee away from him. And there was no place for them. So they're going to be running away. They ain't going to have nowhere to hide. And seeing that they're not going to be found in the book of life, their asses are going to be grass. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. And the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, speaking of the people. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. So what does death and hell represent? What does that go into? Well, that's going into Esau, Edom, starting with the elites. Now, let's hold this in Revelations 20 and 13. And let's go to Revelations chapter 6 and verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. Now, this pale horse is representing all the destruction, all the evil that's coming to America, that's coming to this beast. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. So Esau's going to bring a whole lot of death. Esau's going to be like a great sword, bringing a whole lot of death here to the beast, here in Babylon. And power was unto them over the fourth part of the earth. The fourth part of the earth is America and Europe. If you look at America and Europe together, that makes up about 25% of the earth dealing with this landmass. Okay? And NATO has relations with America and Europe. In fact, it's NATO that helps to stabilize America's tie to Europe. Okay? So a lot of evil is going to come to America and those of you who are in Europe. Y'all aren't going to be off the hook. Y'all think America is going to be the only one affected by this? No, great evil is coming to America. And this is also going to affect Europe, because America and Europe have close ties to another. Okay? Now, I believe in terms of America's ties with Europe, it's one of the deepest ties, you know, dealing with like relationships, how, you know, two continents can be intertwined. America and Europe is deeply connected. Okay, they have a deep partnership, and they're both being basically guarded by NATO. Okay, and they share the same values when it comes to the political belief. Okay, so seeing that there's a close relationship with America and Europe, America's not going to be the only one affected when all this violence comes. Europe's going to be affected too. America and Europe make up about 1/4 of the earth dealing with land. All right. Hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. So this is coming to America, and Europe's also going to be affected. And concerning the Rothschilds, Lucifer, okay, they're closely linked to America and Europe. All right. So going back to Revelations chapter 20 and 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. So let's go a little further into death and hell. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So these Edomites, starting with the elite of Esau, where they are, you know hell is there. Death and hell is going to be casted into the lake of fire, being these Edomites, starting with their elite. Okay? Now, it talks about Esau being proud. I already read how they want to be as the Most High. That's very proud. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, speaking of all the lies that they teach, going back into the beast and the false prophet. The false prophet transgresses by wine, speaking lies through politics, lies through religion, lies through false propaganda, secret agendas. Okay? Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. So Lucifer is a proud man. Remember, it also said that he is a man. Okay? They'll narrowly look upon him and consider him being a man. Neither keepeth at home. Esau loves to conquer, go forth stealing and, ravishing and destroying, dismantling, corrupting, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's America right there. America's known as a melting pot. America has all people here. All the 12 tribes are here. All the heathen are here. Okay? You can find every lineage of people just being here in Babylon. But Babylon's going to be destroyed. Those who are in power, who run Babylon, they're going to be brought down right along with Babylon. Okay? Now let's go into how it says, because he transgresseth by wine. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, so the wine of Babylon, or the lies, the falsehood of Babylon, is going to be destroyed. It's going to be desolate. It's going to be brought to nothing. Okay? Seeing that Esau is a proud man, he's done a good job giving his wine to everybody, having them drink of it and believe it. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And when you look at the Statue of Liberty, although it's holding a torch, you could also see it as if it's holding a cup. Okay? That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. So these nations are very, very mad. And when you go into that word mad in Hebrews 19:84, it says halah, to shine figuratively of God's favor, to flash forth light, to praise, to boast. Now, when you look at the Statue of Liberty, it's holding up the torch. That torch goes into enlightenment, and being enlightened, enlightenment. So through Babylon's false enlightenment, it has caused these other nations to partake with that false light. Okay? Now they believe it. Now they've been illuminated and corrupt with that false light, being the lies of Babylon. Okay? Babylon is suddenly fallen, being the beast, and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed, but she's not going to be healed, because she's going to be changed into a lake of fire. Babylon is going to be set on fire. Okay? So Revelations 20 and 13, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. Okay? Speaking of these Edomites, starting with the elite, and they were judged every man according to their works, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So death and hell are going to be casted into the lake of fire, starting with Lucifer on down to Lucifer's minions. Okay, all of Lucifer's people. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So those who aren't written in the book of life are going to be left here when them nuclear missiles come. Okay? Because they're definitely coming. Let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 11 and verse 6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. So Lucifer is going to be brought out of power. Fire is going to rain from heaven. World War III consists of nuclear missiles, rockets, laser beams being sent upon this place known as Babylon, or the beast, and the false prophet, being all of the lies that are coming out of Babylon. Okay? And that includes the lies coming out of the Catholic Church, the Vatican. All right? The Lord is going to bring judgment, man. But concerning America, America is going to be totally destroyed. And those who reign over America, missiles are going to rain upon them. Although some are going to try to hide. We understand that. Okay? Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, speaking of Lucifer and his kingdom, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So when them arrows get sent off, they're going to come over here and slay the beast. The beast is going to be set on fire, which is America, a reincarnation of the ancient Roman Empire. All right? And America, including NATO and the EU, but all of NATO and the EU are not going to be destroyed, seeing that NATO and the EU is also going to turn against America and send fire to America. All right? So judgment is really right around the corner. We're in those times right now. And the wicked, they're going to be consumed. They're going to be brought out of rulership. They're going to be set on fire. Okay? Psalms chapter 9 and verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. And you're going to have some of these elite try to hide in underground silos, try to escape the nuclear destruction. But it's only going to be their own trap. Okay? In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. So the nuclear missile, starting with the atomic bomb, that was made through the hands of Edomites. But that tool that they've came up with through the Heavenly Father giving that to them is going to be used upon them. Just as these underground silos that they think is going to be their protection is going to be their tombstone. And then some of them, they're just going to be grabbed up, snatched out of those locations and drugged right into slavery. Okay? The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higayon Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. So these nations, starting with Esau, Edom, the elite of Esau, Edom, they're going to be turned into hell. They're going to be brought low. Their kingdom is going to be set on fire. And seeing that their kingdom is going to be set on fire, a lot of them are already trying to get prepared for that. Here it is, they're causing all these problems, starting all these wars, and they think, well, all we have to do is just, start the problem and hide. No, it ain't going to work like that. Okay? Amos chapter 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So whether you try to pack up in a rocket ship and leave, or you try to hide in some tall mountain, or you try to dig underground in some underground silo for protection, You are going to be trapped. You are going to be snared. You are going to be judged. You're not going to get away from judgment. Okay? And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So even Leviathan is going to be set forth to get you damn devils. But y'all are going to pay for all y'all's wickedness, man. Okay? You're going to be casted into the lake of fire. And then those of you who think you're going to escape, you have all this money invested in, your escape plan. It's not going to work out for you. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. So we're fishing for the elect right now. We're fisher of men right now. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. So no matter where you devils try to hide, and all you minions of this world, no matter what, if you don't have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you're done. And first of all, you have to be an Israelite. And then on top of that, you have to be the elect of Israel. Outside of that, judgment is going to be set forth on a level that's never been experienced. And you people are going to be caught up in it. And with you at least, having the power that you have, you might think you're invincible. You might think you're okay, but you're not. Okay? All this is going to come to an end. All this nonsense, all these lies that y'all have spread is going to come to an end. Period. That's why the Israelites are teaching this word. Because now's that time. Okay? So I pray that this lesson, it was simple, easy to understand and edifying. All praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Wa Rakak Wadash. Shalom.